Hola, 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 damas y caballeros, and welcome back to Carolina Language Solutions, presenting One Simple Trick, talking about the future with the present tense. This is volume 1, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to jump right into this. First and foremost, though, we want to make sure you have our social media information. This is how you can contact us. Be sure to continue joining us here on YouTube at Profe Don Omar Habla Conmigo TV, and like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. If you like the content that we're putting out, make sure to let us know in the comments below, and go ahead and share this with your friends. If you're planning that vacation, you want to get some of these rules under your belt before you jump out here in these streets with this Espanol. Now, today we're talking about one simple trick. We're building on top of what we have with our foundation of learning to conjugate using the present indicative, right? So this episode here is just simply quick and effective. And once again, you've got to know what we covered in the last episode in order to continue to build like we are in this episode today. Let's jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, did you know this? Tagging. Do you know what tagging is, right? So I use tagging in various ways. Like I've used tagging from a coaching standpoint when we wanted to give a receiver a different route or a running back a different route. We would tag the play and then tag it with an additional route for our number one receiver or for our running back, right? So basically, I'm taking that concept and bringing it over here to learning about tagging your sentences with particular words that are going to put you in a future concept. All right. You're going to be saying something in the future tense just by tagging your sentence at the end. All right. So here we have the definition. I'm not going to read it to you. I know you can read. All right. So that is what we are talking about first. So aquí tenemos el título, trabajemos, let's work, right? So here we go. We've got some keywords I'm going to drop on you today. These are what we are going to call our tag words, right? These are going to be our tag words. Jot them down, write them, put them to memory, voice note, whatever you need to do. We've got mañana, right? Mañana. Now, if you've been learning Spanish, you know what mañana means. It's to, we'll come up in a second and talk about what they mean. Our next tag word that we're going to use today is esta tarde, right? And then esta noche. And then lastly, más tarde, right? So, mañana, tomorrow, right? Esta tarde, this afternoon. Esta noche, tonight. Más tarde, later, right? So these are going to be the tag words that we're going to use. All right, so check this out. We're going to transition and put it all together. We're going to make it make sense for you, right? So we're going to bring those chunks together to make this sentence. So from last week, we talked about having a subject, a verb, and then we're going to use this tag word from this week, right? So you got to have a subject and a verb, and then we're going to use a tag word. We need subject-verb agreement, right? So our subject is going to be, in this example, yo, right? Our verb is going to be comer, which is to eat, right? And then más tarde, which is later, right? So yo being I, right? So we conjugate comer, yo como más tarde. It looks like it says I eat later, right? But we have to make this make sense in English, right? So in Spanish, it's totally okay for us to say this and people are going to understand, oh, he's talking about in the future. So when we say yo como más tarde, you have to be, as an native English speaker, perhaps that's you, you have to make this make sense. I will eat later, right? And that's what we've done here. Once again, our conjugations, this is what we talked about in our video prior to this one. Make sure you check that out on conjugating in the present tense if you have not done so that you can fully understand what we're doing here. All right, so ahora tenemos práctica, right? We've got some practice here, so practiquemos, let's practice. We've got our subject, our verb, and our tag word. We've got tú, leer, el libro, and mañana. Leer, to read, el libro, book, right? Here we go. Tú lees el libro mañana. Word for word, you read the book tomorrow. Well, we've got to make it make sense in English, right? So you will read the book tomorrow. Why does it say you will read? Because tomorrow's not here, right? So that is why this is saying, oh, this is a future statement. right? Just by us simply tagging this word or this statement with the word mañana. All right, let's try another one. All right, vamos a practicar más aquí. So we've got practiquemos, right? Let's practice some more. Our subject is mi hermano y yo, el verbo salir, and the tag word esta noche. Okay? My brother and I hang out esta noche tonight, right? And speaking of mi hermano, I want to shout out my brother here. He told me, "Hey man, you gotta wind it down a little bit. You going too over the top with this stuff." So we trying to break it down and make it as simple as possible for some of these people that are trying to learn. So shout out to my brother for bringing that to my attention here. We're gonna try to make this as simple as possible so that you can understand the concepts that we're bringing towards or bringing to you on YouTube here. So mi hermano y yo, we need to conjugate our verb salir, right, in the nosotros form. So mi hermano y yo, in the nosotros form, remember that's we, right? My brother and I, that makes we. So mi hermano y yo salimos esta noche, right? Word for word, left to right. My brother and I hang out tonight. That's cool. You can say that. But if it's 3 o'clock in the morning or it's 5 o'clock that morning, right? And someone asks you, "Hey, ¿qué vas a hacer esta noche?" Right? ¿Qué vas a hacer esta noche? Right? You might say, okay, well, they're asking me at 5 a.m. I'm going to be talking about, they're asking me, what am I going to be doing tonight? Well, it's 5 a.m. So I'm going to say, hey, my brother and I are going to hang out, or my brother and I will hang out tonight. That's actually what we want to translate this as. My brother and I will hang out tonight. All right, or we'll go out tonight, whichever the context of the conversation may be. Here we have our last activity and our last example. All right. Los amigos mirar la televisión en esta tarde. Okay. All right. So here we go. Right. We've got los amigos mirar la televisión esta tarde. The friends. Right. Mirar, to look at. Right. Or to watch. Some people do interpret it as that. La televisión, TV, right? Esta tarde, this afternoon. All right. So when we're talking about los